interceptions, 2 of those in the first quarter. And they do have 2 penalties for 15 yards, one of those a special teams holding call. And then on to Wilmington defensively. They have 1 tackle for loss, 2 sacks, 2 pass breakups, 3 interceptions. They do have 5 penalties, 2 of those on special teams, totaling. And on to the Wilmington offensive end. They have 9 first downs in the first half, 2 of 4 on third down conversions, 1 for 2 on fourth down. They do have 1 turnover on downs, 2 penalties for 15 yards. And Western Brown defensively, 2 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup, and they have 1 penalty, which came on special teams on a point after attempt, which was half the distance, so it was only about a yard.
So again, Wilmington leads 28-7, and we were just kind of talking there. A lot of emotion on senior night. We'll see. You know, I'm sure as a former coach, I know that I would try to at my halftime speech would involve that. It's senior night here, your final game. You're fighting for your life here in the playoffs, and we'll see if they're able to kind of rally some of that momentum. They got a pretty big hole to climb out of, but again, this offense, when they're clicking, they can score a lot of points and score quickly. We saw them put up 42 last week. So I think the biggest thing is, number one, you got to find a way to get a stop on this first drive and get the ball back in your offense's hands, and then just kind of go from there. You know, we know Coach Osborne can dial up a scoring drive in a hurry, so if they can just get a couple of stops and, you know, keep their defense kind of a little bit more fresh here in the second half, you know, they might be able to claw their way back into this one. But again, kind of a win-or-go-home situation here for Western Brown, and a pretty big hole to climb out of.
Yeah, they've got to win the turnover battle in the second half. Got to create some opportunities there, get off the field, whether it's on downs, forcing a fumble, interception, steal one on an onside kick or something like that. I'd love to see them. I mean, I've kind of been telling Greg this off mic throughout the season, but when they go to that onside kick, they usually kick the ball off on one of the hashes, leaving the other side of the field wide open. And there's the potential there for a pooch kick. They leave a guy out there, but that's just me talking. Obviously, I'm not on the sidelines coaching the team, but there's just something I'm seeing up here from the booth.
So now Dakota Bollinger will tee it up. He's going to kick it off here from that left hash mark on the 40-yard line. Wilmington will be headed from left to right on your radio dial here in this third quarter. Bollinger fakes the onside kick, and now they're going to back up, and he's going to kick it away. Coach Osborne was pleading for a penalty. He's asking the sideline that their return team ran up a little too far. Now they are going to try the onside. It takes a big bounce, but a nice play there by the Wilmington kick coverage team to go up and high point that one, but they'll have it on about the 47-yard line in Western Brown territory. So tried the fake, and then they went ahead and did the onside. It did take a big bounce and a chance to get it, but Wilmington does a nice job covering it up.
Yeah, they were ready for that one. Obviously keeping their eyes on it the whole time. Western Brown's been known to try a few different things on that kickoff throughout the season, and they were ready for it.
So again, Greg Liming, Rob Bowman here with you to call this one. Traven Hildebrand back in the studio for us. And Brandon Rigdon on the camera for GoodGuysRadioTV.com. They will have it on the 47-yard line, first down and 10. Western Brown defense trying to come up with a big stop here to start this second half. Wilmington offense trotting out for their first possession. They were pretty efficient in that first half. Stevens did a nice job manufacturing some drives. They went under center a little bit, some shotgun. This time they'll go in the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. 1 man in the backfield. They're going to hand it off, going off that left side in some room. Puller is still going in the back side to 35. And what a run by Josiah Puller to move the chains all the way down deep inside Western Brown territory.
I think one of the biggest keys was the fake from Stevens, too. The end on the right side of the defense. Couldn't tell if he gave the ball or not, so it left a big hole for Puller to run through. And he picks up big yards deep into Western Brown territory now.
All the way down to the 34-yard line. We're going to be first down and 10 with 11 and a half minutes to go in the third. Same formation here from Wilmington. 2 receivers lined up on either side of the formation. 1 man in the backfield off to Stevens' right. Stevens takes a shotgun snap, fakes the handoff. This time he'll throw it, has it complete to his man. Spin move, makes a tackler miss, and now bounces off another tackler, and he is going to the house. I believe that was number 11, Eddie Brooks, is going to take it in for the touchdown in a quick strike from the Wilmington offense. He's able to break a few tackles, take it all the way to the house. A nice spin move and caps it off, and now it looks like a penalty flag flies in late. But Wilmington, for the moment, has a 34-7.
Initial indication on the penalty is unsportsmanlike. We'll wait on that signal.
So that was a 34-yard touchdown catch and run. Again, was maybe threw the ball a yard forward, but a nice spin move and a bounce off another tackler. And after that, there was nobody there for Western Brown to run him down. And it'll be a 34-7 lead, with the unsportsmanlike will be enforced on the kickoff. And they'll be on to kick the extra point here, trying to make it a 35-7 game. So a quick strike, couple plays for that Wilmington offense, and they're in for the touchdown.
And they didn't try to do too much on that, just went to that bubble off the right side and like you said, broke a couple tackles and got free. Once he got through that second one, he was unscathed to the house.
So snaps back, holds down, extra point is on the way. And that one is good to make it 35-7 in favor of Wilmington. We'll take a break. And we'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well, and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
5-7, a big hole for the Broncos to try to climb out of. And they'll kick it away from the 25-yard line after the penalty, just kicking on the ground, and now another penalty flies out. And Wilmington, again, a little early coming across the ball. They did that on the opening kickoff, and we'll see that on the opening kickoff of the second half here, so back them up even more. So another chance for Western Brown to have pretty good field position after some penalties are setting the kickoff back almost inside. They'll be back to the 20-yard line now.
Yeah, we'll see if they choose to kick this one a little deeper. Went with a squib kick on that one.
So it'll be kicked off from the 20-yard line now. About the 35. So it could be a chance here and a pretty good return. They kicked the last one on the ground. We'll see what they decide to do here. This time they'll do the same thing, squib it over the middle. They're going to let it bounce, catches it on the fly as Lucas Powell going back up the middle and takes a shot, but right about midfield. So they'll have the ball right on about the 50-yard line. I think they're going to mark it right at midfield. So Western Brown has good field position here to start this first drive of the second half.
A really good field position. Got to score quick and get some momentum back in your favor. Again, they've got to force some turnovers here in the second half, but offensively you got to get something going. Only 7 points in the first half.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here from. Actually, they're going to spot him all the way up past midfield. I think that's a pretty generous spot on the 48-yard line for inside Wilmington territory, where it'll be 1st down and 10 for the first possession here for the Western Brown offense of the second half.
I think they may have mismarked it on the wrong side of the 50, but Broncos will take it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here with 10:58 to go in the third. Sutton takes the snap, rolling to his right, trying to get to the edge. He's going to run this one. Has some room over there on the far side. Tiptoes along the sideline down around the 36-yard line. That's going to be a nice little 11-yard scamper there from Sutton. That'll move the chains for Western Brown.
And get things going. And we've seen when they get those first downs in the first half, they were trying to play really quick.
So they'll come back up to the ball quickly here. Again, in a big hole down 35-7. 3 on the right, 1 on the left. Sutton takes a snap, rolling to his left, squares the shoulders. He's going to throw it towards the sideline, trying to get it to Lucas Powell. And a little too far out of his reach, but a penalty flag flies in. And the Wilmington sideline not too impressed with that penalty flag, but it looks like it's going to be a pass interference or a defensive holding. And it looks like the initial signal is defensive holding going against Wilmington.
Yeah, it looked like Powell kind of had that left arm hanging back with the DB there, and the official saw that, called the hold.
Those defensive backs are pretty good at kind of, getting underneath and just getting enough of the jersey or whatever. But, again, I think that was going to be overthrown either way. And now Wilmington looks like they're going to take a timeout as Coach Ryan Evans is still pleading his case over there. Didn't like the defensive holding call on the back end as he's going to talk with the head official here. But as of right now, it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line for this Western Brown offense. And again, Wilmington able to score in a couple of plays really quick, but Western Brown trying to answer back. If you can figure out a way to get a couple of quick stops or maybe create a few turnovers, you can claw your way back into this thing. But first things first, got to put some points on the board here.
Definitely got to score and get the ball back quickly, whether it's a 3-and-out, turnover, or something like that. You have to be able to get something going defensively to help your offense, give them some life. And this defense been on the field a lot tonight, obviously giving up 35 points.
Remember to stay tuned for our postgame wrap-up. Also, be sure to check out our newest show to Good Guys Radio TV, Basketball 30. Tune in as we sit down with our local girls and guys basketball teams to get set for the hoop season just ahead. Today we hosted Western Brown, so go check that out on demand, all for free. Basketball 30, kind of previewing the upcoming basketball season. The hardwood is right around the corner. Sutton has some pressure, rolls out to his right. He's going to throw this one late towards the end zone, trying to get it to Powell. Powell lays out in the end zone but can't bring it down, and that's going to fall incomplete. Will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Pretty good throw on the run, too, from Sutton as he is able to roll out of the pocket, escape that pressure. Just out of reach, though, of Lucas Powell. Left it away from the defender, deep in the end zone.
Powell had a half a step, but just couldn't quite. It was just maybe a foot or two out of his reach as he laid out in the end zone. Would have been a spectacular catch. We saw him make a spectacular catch last week on the sideline at Goshen. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball still on the 26-yard line. Sutton takes a snap, looking to his left, has some pressure. He's going to throw it again. Harmon has a step, and again, just a little bit too far. A lot of pressure. Sutton couldn't set his feet the way he wanted to. Had Harmon over the top, but it falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
And Wilmington came with the blitz on that one and got in Sutton's grill immediately. Puts a good ball out there for Harmon, but maybe about a yard too long for the speedster.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 now from the 26. And again, I think no matter what here, this is obviously 4th down territory no matter what the yard to go line is. It'll be empty set here, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Sutton on the 31-yard line takes the snap, has a little bit of pressure again, able to try to step up through it. Now rolls out to his right. He's going to throw it late, and a nice sliding catch by Damian Valdez right about inside the 10-yard line. I think they're going to spot him at the 9, so it's going to be 1st down and goal. Nice play by Sutton and Valdez.
Yeah, Valdez, nice sliding catch too. Throws it a little bit behind him, dropped that hip to the ground, and able to get those arms underneath of it. Big reception, big conversion, nice throw from Sutton under pressure and on the run.
So it will be, they're going to call it 1st down and goal just right inside the 10-yard line. Weber in the backfield with Sutton. Low snap, it's on the ground. He's able to scoop it up, and Sutton's trying to make something out of nothing, and a good job by Sutton to even get a yard or even get back to the line as another late penalty flag flies out. But that was a ground ball all the way. Sutton scooped it up. He wanted to hand it to Weber, but just decided to take it himself. Gained a yard maybe, but it's a penalty flag. We'll check what the penalty is. But for now, maybe a 1-yard gain for Sutton.
Yeah, Western Brown happy to just get back to the original line of scrimmage on that one because Sutton could have easily just fell on top of it to maintain possession and able to pick it up under pressure, broke through one tackle and got brought down. It looks like there was a penalty against Wilmington now.
I think the signal was personal foul, so I'm not sure if it was a late hit or another face mask. We've seen a couple of face mask calls going against Wilmington, but it'll give them half the distance to the goal. It looks like down around the 4-yard line. So it'll be 1st down and goal from there with 9:41 to go here in the 3rd. Sutton coming back from the sideline with the play. Western Brown knocking on the door now after the personal foul penalty inside the 5. Tight formation here from Western Brown. 2 receivers out wide to the left. Weber in the backfield with Sutton. Sutton's going to hand this one to Weber, dancing around and now nowhere to go, and they're going to push him back. That's Malachi Cumberland getting in there again. Made the initial contact and dropped him for no gain or maybe even a short loss, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and goal.
It looks like they do mark him for a short loss. Just haven't been able to get the run game established. Again, this is a very good defensive front, probably the best defensive line the Broncos have faced all season.
And Cumberland is, again, we don't have height and weight, but a big kid pushing the pile there and able to get to Weber before he could get any momentum going. They're going to mark him back to the 5 with a 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and goal. Sutton fakes a handoff this time, rolling out to the right, nowhere to go. Now reverses field back to the left. Still trying to run, tucks the ball down in his left hand now, and still nowhere to go. And Sutton goes down for maybe another yard loss, but could have been a lot more. Sutton did a good job keeping that play alive long enough to be able to at least avoid a big loss, but that's going to bring up a 4th down now.
Yeah, Wilmington applying the pressure early. Sutton just another low snap and tries to make the most out of it. Goes down for about maybe a 1.5 yard, 2-yard loss on that play.
So now some personnel change here for Western Brown as it's going to be a 4th down and goal now back at the 7. So a couple of plays have gone backwards here for Western Brown. They're still trying to punch one in here with 8 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Sutton takes the empty snap, pressure right away, able to step around it, throws it late, and I believe it's going to be caught, but it's going to be short of the goal line, and I believe that is going to be a turnover on down. So Western Brown had a golden opportunity down there around the 5-yard line after the personal foul penalty, but they're not able to punch it in for 6, and that is a big stand for the Wilmington defense.
Really big, and they're obviously they're going to be pretty backed up in their own territory, but they'll take that, not giving up the points. Western Brown, Sutton again under pressure on that play early, and just got rid of it. Finds Powell, the only open receiver there, and he's about 3 yards shy of the end zone.
So it will be 1st down and 10. They'll spot it on the 3-yard line, so 97 yards to go here for this Wilmington offense. But again, they're more than happy just getting a stop there. Used up some clock on that drive and able to get down all the way inside the 5, but bend and don't break. A couple of negative plays hurt the Broncos there, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. And Wilmington's going to have it now. And I would say we're going to see a pretty heavy dose of Mr. Joe Pooler carrying the football here, trying to keep that clock moving as much as possible. This is going to be a handoff going off that left side. Broncos ready for it, though, and it goes for no gain. Maybe even they might give him a 0.5 yard out to about the 3.5. But a good job by that Bronco front's going to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and I think they were kind of ready for that one, trying to get some breathing room out of the shadow of the goalpost, and Broncos able to finish that one off for a very short gain.
So they'll mark him with a yard. I think it's more about like a 0.5 yard up just shy of the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 here. 7:20 to go in this 3rd quarter. Wilmington did use a timeout already. Western Brown still has all 3 of theirs here in this 2nd half. Stevens under center, and now some movement on the right side of that offensive line. And a false start, a little jumpy over there on the right tackle. It'll back him up a little bit.
Yeah, back him up a couple yards now. Running back will definitely be in his own end zone to start this play if they go with that same formation.
Actually, sorry, I think that was a big tight end over there. Number 43, Ackerman, had trouble staying still there, so it'll be 2nd down and 11. They'll go half the distance to the goal, back to the 2-yard line. 6:47 to go in this 3rd quarter. Stevens under center, takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, coming off that left side, able to make a couple of guys miss, able to get some of those yards back out to about the 7. But it is going to bring up a 3rd down opportunity here for the Western Brown defense.
A decent chunk there. Now they're in third and medium yardage coming up, but again inside their own 10-yard line. Usually play it safe territory.
So they'll go. It'll be 3rd down and 6 from the 7. Again, Wilmington taking their time, getting up to the line. No reason to be in a hurry here. They're playing with a big lead, 35-7 over Western Brown. The Broncos trying to come up with a few more stops here to get the ball back to their offense. Stevens under center. He's going to turn and hand this one off, going off that right side, and the Broncos, Denver Ballou, riding him down. That's going to go for a loss back to the 5. So good job by the Western Brown defense. Offense isn't quite able to punch it in, but the defense gets a stop there, a quick 3 and out, and didn't use a ton of time. So they will get the ball back to their offense pretty quickly.
Great move from Ballou, too. He goes inside move and able to dip under the block. Makes a big tackle for loss.
Has to be a little bit of a scary feeling, too. That punter has his heels on the back of that end zone line. I mean, he is all the way back inside his own end zone. Snap is good. Gets the punt away cleanly, but it's going to be a short one, kind of a wobbler, and it bounces inside the 30, and they're going to down it right at the 30-yard line. So a good job by Western Brown. Now a late penalty flag flies out as Ty Spalding ended up on the ground, and they're both kind of pleading their case, and now it looks like the official is going to talk to both of them, Ty Spalding and one of the Wilmington players, and the penalty flag is on the ground, so we're not sure if this is offsetting penalties. It looks like a personal foul going against Western Brown and a personal foul going against Wilmington. So offsetting penalties, getting a little chippy down there. Spalding got tied up with one of the blockers from Wilmington. So they'll have it on the 30. We're going to be first down and 10 with good field position and a chance to try to score and cut into that lead again.
A great field position again to start this drive. Got to be able to put points on the board, though. Last time they were inside the 5-yard line and not able to get anything out of it.
Won't be surprised to see Coach Osborne take a shot right here on the first play, just trying to get something down the field as Jaden Parker will move up now in front of Sutton on the left side of that offensive line. Sutton takes a snap, looking over the middle, has pressure in his face. He is going to throw it towards the end zone, and Harmon dropped it at the end zone, had it in his bread basket, but just couldn't quite hold on to it. A little bit of hand fighting going on down there, and Harmon just couldn't quite bring it in. Would have been a touchdown, but falls incomplete.
And Harmon's done a good job all night getting separation, and that's the first ball that's really been thrown perfectly to him, just not able to reel it in.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, ball still on the 30-yard line. Clock stops with 5 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the third. Again, pretty good coverage down the field, but a good throw by Sutton. These defensive backs for Wilmington have been pretty sticky on these Western Brown receivers all night long. Sutton takes a snap. Has a little bit of pressure, steps up through it. Now he's going to run a little bit, squares his shoulders late, trying to get it to Jaden Parker, and just a little bit too much heat on it. Overthrew Parker out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, just had to put that one on the line with the safety coming over the top with the pressure. Couldn't put too much on it, and just a little bit out of reach for Parker.
Remember, we'll cover our team and individual stats and name our Paul Hall Insurance Player of the Game right after the conclusion of our game. Be sure to stick around. So it'll be a 3rd down and 10 now. Ball still on the 30-yard line. 5:04 to go in the third. 3 on the right. 1 man in the backfield with Sutton. Takes a snap. Looking over the middle. Has pretty good protection. Now has some pressure. And Cumberland's able to sling him down with basically one arm. Big Malachi Cumberland got in there. Beat the double team. Got a hand on Sutton and slammed him down. What a play by Cumberland.
Great play defensively. Sutton looked like he was going to be able to step up and kind of underneath that block, but Cumberland reached that big bear paw out and able to bring him down.
Again, Cumberland wrecking it here. Another sack. He's been leading the league in tackles for loss, and he kind of just went through the chests of 2 Western Brown offensive linemen and walked him back into Sutton. You said it. Sutton looked like he thought he was going to have a chance to step up and get rid of it. And once Malachi Cumberland got a hand on him, he had nowhere to go. So it's going to be a 4th and 17, but down big. Western Brown going to have to go for it. Sutton takes a snap. Cumberland with pressure again. He's going to throw it over the middle, and Western Brown is going to get some help. Early contact. The pass was intended for Valdez, and that one was pretty clear in the middle of the field. Early contact on Valdez, and that's going to help Western Brown out with another penalty.
Yeah, 4th and extremely long. And Western Brown very fortunate on that one. A little bit of a high throw, but Valdez would have had a shot at it, but he was hit in the back prior to that ball getting to him.
So that'll be a pass interference going against Wilmington. Sutton, again, had all kinds of pressure in his face, was able to get rid of it that time, did hit the ground and was kind of slow to get up. It was intended for Valdez. It won't give him the first down, but it'll make it a 4th and 2, which is much more manageable than 4th and long that they had before. So they're going to be able to try to get it here on a 4th and 2 with 4:08 to go instead of 4th and about 17 like it was before. The 15-yard penalty helps out Western Brown. Jaden Parker will line up in the backfield off to the left of Brady Sutton. Now he'll motion out to the right. They're going to look that way. Now quick throw back to the other side. Has it complete to Lucas Powell. Turns it upfield and gets upended around the 20. Didn't think Powell was going to turn his shoulders and get upfield and get the first down, but he does. And he's able to move the chains, and we do have a Wilmington defender kind of down on his hands and knees in a little bit of pain, so they're going to have to come out and check on him. I believe that's number 43, Luke Ackerman, but good job there. Tough catch by Powell. and had the awareness and kind of ran an extra step. I think Coach Osborne would have liked him to turn upfield a little sooner on 4th down, but able to know where the sticks are and get it, and it'll give him a new set of downs right about the 20-yard line.
Definitely, yeah. He knew where he had to get to. He was about a yard shy when he caught the ball, and finally runs about 5 yards in towards the hash mark and then turns up and gets a just enough for that first down.
So, again, Wilmington player being tended to by the training staff down right about the 20-yard line. He saw him. He was down on his hands and knees. Looked like he had that right leg kind of up off the ground. So, again, you don't want to speculate. You never know. A lot of bodies flying around, but could have gotten rolled up or something like that. It happens sometimes in the middle of those plays. As they're still taking a look. Could be a cramping situation. Again, we don't know, but hopefully he's going to be okay and be able to get up. But Western Brown, they got the first down there on 4th. They haven't used a ton of time here yet, but you had the play to Harmon that could have been a touchdown that ends up falling incomplete. It seems like they're getting to that point where they've got to score quick and start creating some turnovers. Maybe try a couple. Maybe we might see them try another onside kick. You were kind of talking about as good news as Ackerman's able to get up and kind of trot off the field. Still favoring that right leg a little bit, but able to run off under his own power is a good sign. But going to have to try to score here in the next couple of plays to save as much time as you can.
Definitely, yeah. The clock is not on their side right now. Obviously, still have a whole quarter to play and 4 minutes left in this third, but got to be able to convert on these drives. They got the punt on the last series and really good field position to start.
Valdez in the backfield with Sutton. 3 receivers lined up on the right. Harmon lined up down on the bottom on the left. Fakes a handoff, throws it, and a little bit behind Jaden Parker, falls incomplete. Had a little bit of room to run. Would have been down inside the 10 if they were able to make that connection, but falls incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 now.
It looked like Sutton kind of changed his arm angle on that release because there was a defender in the way, and that caused it to go a little bit outside of Parker.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball still on the 19-yard line, rather, just inside the 20. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Jaden Parker in the backfield with Sutton. Sutton takes a snap, looking to his left, has pressure, steps up through it, able to throw it. He's going to throw it towards the corner of the end zone. And again, Sandefur just never saw it, didn't get his head turned around, and looked like Sandefur was ready to kind of block down in that end zone, had his hands on the defender, but just didn't see the football, I don't think.
No, and he put it in a good spot, too, away from the defender who was on the inside on coverage on Sandefur, and Sandefur still looking to the inside, threw it to the outside, and another good play from Sutton just to get out of the pocket using those feet.
And we kind of mentioned that fog. That could have something to do with it. I mean, it's not real heavy or anything, but could be enough just to throw it off, and you never know. The ball could have gone through the lights. Sutton takes a snap on 3rd and 10, looking towards the end zone. He's going to throw it and knocked away at the last second. Good defensive play by Carson Brown. Got his left hand on it. Pass was intended for Powell right at the goal line. It falls incomplete. Another 4th and long coming up here for this Western Brown offense.
It looked like Powell had that in his grasp almost, and then Brown just able to step in front at the last second and bat that away.
So it's going to bring up a 4th and 10, still from the 19, 3:37 to go in the ball game. And Western Brown, obviously, again, going to have to keep the offense out there on pretty much every 4th down. Well, every 4th down from here on out, trailing 35-7, trying to claw their way back into this one. 2 receivers on both sides of the formation. Sutton takes the snap, has pretty good protection, looking towards the end zone. This time, Braden Harmon is able to bring it in, turns around, and a nice throw by Sutton, puts it on the money to Harmon, and Harmon has a touchdown, and now it's 35-13 with the extra point coming up.
Really good pass. Harmon again gets great separation from the DB and able to bring that one in for 6 on the big 4th down conversion.
Oh, you got to think Harmon was making sure he caught that one. He had one earlier that would have been a touchdown and just couldn't quite bring it in with tight coverage. But that time, you said it, able to get right behind that defender, and a good throw by Sutton. And Cunningham is on to kick the extra point. Snaps back, holds down. The kick is on the way, and it is up and good. So 35-14, Western Brown cuts into that Wilmington lead. We'll be right back on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
Our business is helping you grow. We're Baxter Tractor. We take care of you like family.
We've been growing since 1946. As your Kubota dealer, Our focus is to help you grow today and into the future. Stop by one of our locations today, visit with our folks, and see our entire lineup of Kubota products.
Our business is helping you grow. Bachelor Tractor.
Welcome back in here to Western Brown High School, where the Broncos have scored and added 7, 35-14. They were able to get that quick stop last time. We've seen them try some onside kicks. I got to agree with you. When they line up on the right hash, the whole Wilmington return team is almost bunched right in front of them. If you just pooch one over towards that far side, if you could just get one person to outrun their deep return men, I think you'd have a really good chance at getting it. Again, we're just up here calling the game. We're not drawing up the X's and O's, but we'll see if they're going to. They may have to try an onside kick just about every time now. With 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the third, Bollinger will fake the onside kick this time. And now back up. We saw him try the onside kick last time from this formation. We'll see what they elect to do. And now Bollinger will try the onside kick. It's bouncing around, and Bollinger has a chance at it, and he's fighting for it. I think Bollinger got it. They did. Dakota Bollinger did a great job. Kicked it, pooched it right down to the 50-yard line, and Carter Saylor was able to take out the would-be return man, and Bollinger scoops up his own onside kick. So Western Brown with a little life here, down 35-14 with a chance to get the ball and score again and cut in the lead one more time.
That was a great onside kick from Dakota Bollinger. Very patient, just waited for that one. He knew exactly where the 10-yard marker was and pounced on it as soon as it hit that line. The return man for Wilmington was a little hesitant to go attack the ball. He wanted to make sure it went 10, and Bollinger beat him to it.
Which he does not have to wait till it gets 10. He can run up and get it anytime. So Bollinger does a nice job. So they'll have it right back. Sutton low snap. He's able to scoop it up as it sat on the turf for a couple of seconds. Throws it incomplete, but Sutton his momentum was going backwards. The ball hit the ground and just sat there for a couple of seconds, but he's able to get rid of it and avoid the big loss of the turnover.
Kind of struggling with the shotgun snaps right now for Western Brown. They've been a little bit low, and Sutton's had to take a little extra time bending down to pick those up. A couple of them hit the turf. Just another element.
You've mentioned that. You get the yips a little bit. Sometimes it gets in the back of your head. You snap a couple low, and then all of a sudden you kind of forget how to do it. That time a good snap. Sutton throws it quick, complete to Harmon towards his own sideline, setting up some blocks. Then we'll go forward for about a 4-yard gain. It's going to bring up third down now.
Good block on the edge from Sandifer, but the rest of the Wilmington defense does a good job of closing in on that one.
And now Braden Harmon slow to get up as the referee blows it dead here. It'll bring up a third down and looks to be about 6 yards. And Harmon has a little trouble getting over to the sideline as, again, we saw him with that collarbone injury earlier in the season. And we saw him, Coach Osborne last week elected not to play him in the second half, just with the lead and everything to play it safe. And it looks like they are kind of looking over at him over here on the sideline, that right shoulder area, as the trainer's kind of feeling under those shoulder pads. So hopefully Mr. Harmon's going to be all right, just coming off the touchdown. He's getting a little attention from the training staff over here on the sideline. But Western Brown will have it 3rd and 6 from the 46. Sutton takes the snap, looking towards the sideline, throws it, has it complete to Lucas Powell. He tiptoes, but not quite able to get the line to gain. It's going to be a 4th and 2 coming up for Western Brown.
Good out route from Powell, but just not enough to get to the sticks, about 2 yards shy.
So they'll stop the clock with 2:48 to go in the third. 4th and 2 coming up for Western Brown. A big 4th down here, trying to convert and keep this drive alive after the onside kick. Empty set this time, 3 on the right, 2 lined up down here on the bottom on the left. Sutton takes a snap, looking to his left, throws it that way. A nice diving catch on the sideline by Zayden Nichols, his first catch on the offensive side for the night. And that'll move the chains down inside the 40 to about the 36-yard line. Nice throw by Brady Sutton.
Wilmington making this offense work. That's the 4th third down that Western Brown has faced in this quarter alone. They've converted on 3 of them.
Sutton takes a snap. Pretty good protection this time. He's going to throw it deep towards the end zone. Zayden Nichols back there and able to tip it, and it bounces up, and Nichols catches it. Bounced off the defender, popped it straight up in the air. That was Eddie Brooks back there. Had a chance at an interception, and the ball pops up off his hands, and Nichols grabs it, but there is a penalty flag on the field, so hold on. And it is going to be a holding call going against Western Brown, so that is going to back him up, as Nichols would have had a circus catch for a touchdown. but the penalty backs him up and negates the big play.
That was a heck of a play from Zayden Nichols. Kept his eye on the ball. He came back to it because it was a little bit short. Defender able to bat it up in the air, but Nichols came down with it, and then we do have the holding that brings it all back.
So instead of a touchdown for Zayden Nichols, it's going to be a 1st and 20 all the way back at the 46-yard line now. So big holding call going against Western Brown. Referee threw that one in there from the backside. Would have been a touchdown for Zayden Nichols, but now a 1st down and 20, 2:09 to go in the third. Sutton takes the snap, has pressure, rolls out to his right. Looking to run. He's just going to tuck it down and run this one himself past the 40. Trying to make a tackler miss. Is going to be thrown down out of bounds. They wind the clock, though. He'll get most of that penalty yardage back. It'll be a 2nd down. It looks to be about 11.
Pretty good run there. He tries to, Nichols gets the clear out, runs down the field, and Sutton able to pick up about all of that penalty yardage that they lost. Still got 2nd and long coming up.
And so far, no more Braden Harmon, still standing on the sideline right by Coach Osborne over here in front of us. And no more trainers looking at him or anything, but just kind of hanging out there waiting to see if he's going to be able to go back in. It's going to be a 2nd down and a long 10 for Western Brown coming up here with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. Sutton takes a snap, quick throw, has it complete to Lucas Powell, trying to set up some blocks, trying to get a stiff arm, but a nice tackle on the outside there by the defender from Wilmington, number 14, Joe Puller. But it'll bring up a 3rd down and looks to be about 6.
Yeah, nice screen again and get some good blocks on the edge, but Wilmington flying to the football and getting guys there quickly to finish that off.
So it'll be a 3rd and 6 from the 32. And now some movement on the left side of that offensive line, and that's going to back them up again. So another penalty going against this Western Brown offense, and they're hurting themselves with some penalties here at the end of this 3rd quarter.
And that's 2 on these last few plays alone for 15 total yards.
That was a big left tackle. Valdez that time just couldn't quite stay in position there. So it'll be 3rd down and 11 now from the back outside the 35 to the 36-yard line after the false start penalty. 35 seconds to go here in this 3rd quarter. Western Brown recovered the onside kick. Would have had a touchdown, but the holding call brought it back. Now a big 3rd down and 11 coming up here for the Western Brown offense. Sutton takes the snap, has some pressure, rolls out to his left, able to get out of one tackle, trying to make another man miss, gets out of bounds. Is going to give him a little bit more of a 4th and manageable, but doesn't get the 1st down yardage. And they're blowing this one dead. Not sure if there's a penalty, and they're going to call false start. So a late penalty as the far side judge threw the flag. So another false start penalty is going to make it 3rd and long.
Now 20 yards of penalties alone on this series for the Broncos on offense as Sutton's able to get out of pressure again in the pocket. Wilmington getting after it on that defensive front, able to pick up about 6 or 7, but that is all coming back with the false start.
And what would have been a big momentum swing on a touchdown as Zayden Nichols came back on the hold. And now Western Brown faces a 3rd and 16. Sutton takes a snap with 5 seconds left on the clock into 3rd. Is going to throw it over towards the sideline. Nichols with a nice back shoulder catch. And that's going to be a 1st down to the 20. That's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, where again Wilmington leads 35-14. We'll be back with 4th quarter action right after this on 99.5 The Edge and Good Guys Radio TV.
In this community, they call the fire department when the days go bad and they don't know what to do.
There'll be a family member and will come up and give me a hug or shake my hand and say, hey, you took care of my dad X number of years ago. And they just wanted to say thank you and how much it meant to them. Things like that just keep me going. I'm ready to come back and do it again.
I try to take pride in every single thing that I do. When I'm needed in the community, I don't want them to ever think that I could have done more.
And that's the beauty of volunteers. There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer.
Before the overtime thrillers.
Dribbling ahead off the right side. Goes the length of the floor for a layup up with Tide. We're going to overtime.
Before the timely trifectas.
Step back 3 at the buzzer. It's good!
Before basketball comes to the Shack, join C103 and Good Guys Radio TV for Basketball 30.
It's Basketball 30.
Welcome back in here for fourth quarter action. Wilmington leads 35-14. Western Brown knocking on the door, though, on the 20-yard line after the nice catch by Zayden Nichols. They'll flip into the field. They're headed from left to right on your radio dial over towards that south end zone, towards Mount Middle School. It'll be a first down and 10 from the 20. Western Brown trying to score after they recovered the onside kick and cut into this Wilmington lead a little bit more here to start this fourth quarter. Parker motions out to the right. Sutton looking to his left, now back to the right. Has a little bit of pressure. Is going to roll out to the right, now back to the left, and Sutton's not going to be able to get rid of it, and he's going down for a sack all the way back to the 30-yard line, a 10-yard loss, and a big play by that Wilmington front. Good coverage down the field, nowhere to go with the football.
Yeah, and that was a coverage sack, too. It was pretty good protection to start that play from that offensive line, and Sutton just had nowhere to go and finally tries to step out of the pocket, and two Wilmington defenders close on him. Big sack.
So it'll be a 2nd and 20 now, all the way back at the 30, and some negative plays have really hurt Western Brown on this drive. Some penalties, now the big sack and the 10-yard loss. Sutton takes the snap, rolling to his right, looking to throw down the field. He's going to run this one, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Does get some of that sack yardage back, but it's going to be a 3rd down and long here for the Western Brown offense.
Yeah, another 3rd down for this offense. That's the 7th 3rd down already that they've faced in this second half.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 15 as he gets 5 of the sack yards back. But again, all 4th down to go territory here as they're going to line up 5 wide receivers to the left this time. Empty set, no one on the right side. They're going to throw the quick screen. Nichols backing up, and he's going to throw it. Throws it towards the end zone in a fight for the ball. It falls incomplete as Sandiford really just kind of had to play defensive back there and swat it down as they tried the trick play there. We saw him do that last week with Nichols. Played a little bit of quarterback here against New Richmond. And that time it falls incomplete as Harmon checks back into the game for the first time, so a good sign for him. But it is going to be a 4th and 15 here for the Western Brown offense.
I saw Nichols take his glove off before that play, so I knew something was coming. He kind of faced his own bench, so the Wilmington sideline didn't see it.
So a big 4th down here, 4th and 15 for the Western Brown offense. Sutton takes the snap, has some pressure. He's going to throw it late towards the end zone, trying to get it to Harmon, and that one's going to fall incomplete. Another chance at an interception back there. But either way, better for Wilmington that he didn't intercept it as it falls incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs, and Wilmington has the football back. So Western Brown would have had the touchdown, but the holding call brings it back, and they're not able to turn that onside kick into any points. And now Wilmington going to be able to try to put a drive together and run the football and keep that clock moving.
They got, obviously, time is on their side with the score the way it is. So, like you said, they're going to be able to run the ball, and Western's just got to be able to hope for a turnover here, try to attack that ball, keep the ball carrier up, and let that second, third guy come in there, try to rip the ball away.
So it will be 1st and 10 from the 25 now. The Western Brown defense back out there is trying to come up with, I think it's time now. You got to hope for a turnover, some way to get off the field really quick as Stevens will go in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off, going up the middle. Nice play there by Denver Ballou, able to wrap him up and sling him down. Goes forward for maybe a yard or two. He's going to bring up 2nd down.
Really good play, knifed in from that left edge of the defense. Gets a tackle for very short gain, almost no gain.
You're going to give him about a half a yard. It'll be 2nd down and a long 9 from just inside the 26-yard line. 10.5 minutes to go in the ballgame. Again, Wilmington leads 35-14, trying to close this thing out here. On Western Brown's senior night, Western Brown trying to create a turnover or get some kind of quick stop and get the ball back to their offense. Stevens in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking to his right. He's going to throw it over that way, has it complete. And now a nice move on the far side. And up past the 30, still turning those legs. Western Brown trying to do everything they can to knock the ball out of his hands, but not able to do it. And he is going to be a little bit short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
A 3rd and very short. Doesn't another good job, though, with the ball in his hands. Sheds that initial tackle attempt. Western Brown, good chance to get off the field.
Couple of subs checking in here on 3rd and 1. They'll spot it on the 34-yard line. Needs the 35 for a 1st down to move the chain, but the clock continues to roll with 9 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in this one. Stevens under center, 2 receivers lined up on the left. He's going to run this one himself, quarterback keeper, and he's got plenty enough yardage for the first down up past the 35 to about the 38-yard line. That'll move the chains and keep the clock rolling for Wilmington.
We do have looks like a flag on the field too by that far hash.
Yeah, it looks like a penalty going against Western Brown. Didn't exactly see the signal of what it was, but I think another personal foul penalty. We've seen quite a few of those here tonight as it's going to march them forward 15 all the way up into Bronco territory to the 46-yard line. So big penalty there for Western Brown, the personal foul. Not sure if it was a late hit or exactly what happened, but that's going to move the chains inside Western Brown territory and keep that, more importantly for Wilmington, keep that clock rolling. Stevens in the shotgun, 2 men back there with him. 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Stevens takes the snap, a little bit low, but able to handle it, hands it off that left side, and that's Puller going over there. He's able to get about 6 or 7 yards, gets slammed down there after he's stopped, but they're going to spot him on the 39. It's going to be second down.
Western Brown doing a good job getting to him, but Puller does a better job of shedding the initial tackle and getting through that and picking up extra yardage.
Again, don't have height and weight. Puller, not a big guy, only a sophomore as well, but he runs tough. He's plays defensive back as well, good athlete, and he's had a couple of runs where it looks like he's going to be 2-3 yards, and he turns it into about 6 or 7. So strong lower half for Puller, able to keep that pile moving. 8.5 minutes to go. Wilmington possessing the football, and now some movement up on that far side, and no penalty flag as a late penalty flag flies out. But it looked like the receiver on that far side took a step before the ball was snapped, and a penalty flag does fly out. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like it is going to be a false start now, as I think the far referee tried to grab his flag and couldn't get it, and the back judge was able to come in and throw it. But it is going to be a false start. It's going to back him up 5.
Yeah, that play shouldn't have happened from the start. With the false start, it should have killed the play, but receiver just never got set either. He had moved up to try to get on the line of scrimmage and got the, I guess that would have been not 7 guys on the line of scrimmage at the time the ball was snapped.
Actually, I think they got maybe a holding call because it backed them all the way up to the 49, which is going to make it second down and about 13. So I think maybe they let the play happen and called a hold. I didn't see the signal. Again, those PA systems they have at some of these stadiums are pretty nice to help us out. There's a quick throw over towards the Western Brown sideline. Has it complete, trying to make a few guys miss. Able to cut it back towards the middle. And now a nice move creates a little something out of nothing. But still going to bring up a third down and medium here for the Wilmington offense.
Yeah, and it looks like they're still going to continue to take their time. Third medium, and potentially this could be 4-down territory as well for Wilmington to just try and chew up more of that clock.
Wilmington's still throwing the football here, but really safe. Just kind of screen, quick throws, get it out of Stevens' hands really quick. He's done a really good job here tonight. Stevens has really kind of commanded the offense and led some big drives for them, and made some really, really good throws down the field. And they're putting a drive together here with just over 7 minutes to go, trying to run as much time off this clock as they can. Stevens rolls out to his right, has it complete to his receiver, able to get the edge. He goes out of bounds, and he's going to be short of the first down yardage by about a yard, maybe a yard and a half, and it's going to bring up a 4th down situation here for this Wilmington offense.
Yeah, and continuing to throw the ball, trusting those receivers, and like you said, Stevens, great game manager, just kind of going through those progressions, getting the ball to the right spots all night long. He's had really good protection for the most part tonight. Western Brown able to get back there a couple times and force some errant throws, but overall he's had a really good game.
And a little bit of a mistake there as the ball carrier went out of bounds to stop the clock with 6:58 to go. So it is 4th and 1 here. It looks like they're just going to go for it, playing with the lead, trying to run as much clock as they can. Stevens will hand it off, and Josiah Puller falls forward. Didn't get a whole lot of yards, but got enough for the first down. And that's going to just about put an end to this one here with, and now it looks like Western Brown, another offensive lineman for Wilmington down with an injury, a little slow to get up, kind of rolling over a little slowly, but that was a big 4th down conversion there. It's going to be really tough for Western Brown now to have to start using timeouts here soon, and really going to have to start hoping for some turnovers here if they're going to have a chance to get back into this one.
Yeah, and the player got, as one of the offensive linemen, player got tackled into the back of his leg. he kind of grabbed that. I think it was his left leg initially. But, yeah, Western Brown, clock definitely not favoring them right now, down 3 scores in the ball game. Haven't really been able to get off the field tonight in the numbers that they would need to keep up with this Wilmington offense. And the offense on the other end has really struggled all night long to convert. They've been put in a lot of situations, a lot of 3rd and longs, a lot of 4th and medium, 4th and long, and they've converted quite a few. But in some of those situations, you get too many of them, and they just add up. On that last, throughout this second half, they've had 6 third down conversions. They've had 5 fourth down attempts. So, I mean, sometimes the numbers just aren't on your side, and in all those situations, you're not going to convert every single one of them.
On the offensive lineman for Wilmington, William Hildebrandt is able to get up and walk off, but was walking pretty gingerly. Didn't need help to get to the sideline, but definitely looked like he was favoring one of those legs a little bit. Hopefully he's going to be all right as Wilmington will have the ball. They wind the clock with 6:45 to go in the ball game. And now Wilmington going to take their time getting up to the line here. No big rush to run the plays as they're trying to use up as much clock as they possibly can in between plays. Stevens in the shotgun, Puller off to his left. He's going to hand this one to him, going off that right side, and Ballou able to get in there again quickly around the legs of Puller. Goes for a no gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, do a good job collapsing on that one. Just they know they're going to probably run it to the inside, and Ballou and company short gain. Looks like maybe no gain on that play.
So they'll have it 2nd down and 10 from the 34, just over 6 minutes to go in the ball game. Week 10 football action here in Wilmington, trying to close out the season with a win on senior night here at Western Brown. Now man goes in motion across the formation. Now comes back the other way. Stevens ready for the snap, takes it, looks that way. He's going to throw it over towards, and Nichols stumbles a little bit, and he has his man complete. That's Kibler. And he's going to be brought down at about the 1 yard line. That was Jason Kibler, able to grab it and take it all the way down just short of the goal line. Looked like he was going to be able to take it to the house, but the Bronco defender able to bring him down, but it's going to be 1st and goal.
Pretty short route there, too, on the left side, and able to almost turn that upfield and score a touchdown. That was maybe a 7-8 yard play. It turned into about 30.
Nichols looked like he was in a pretty good spot. He just stumbled a little bit, couldn't get his footing and get his hand up in time. Looked like he had a pretty good line underneath that route. Yeah, that's the first time Kibler's caught the ball all night, but called his name a lot on the basketball court last year. The freshman, I think, averaged over 20 points a game. I think the game at Wilmington put about 35 on the Broncos as a freshman. So Mr. Kibler, a phenomenal basketball player, getting his first catch and almost took it to the house. So it'll be 1st and goal. They're going to spot him on the 2 yard line with 5 minutes to go. Stevens ready for the snap. He's going to hand it off to Puller. Puller dives forward. The ball pops out, and they're going to say it's a touchdown. So he broke the plane. The ball ended up on the ground. Western Brown definitely fell on top of it. And now it looks like the far line judge said that he got across the goal line before that ball popped out. All you have to do is break that white line with possession, and they're going to say that he did that. So we saw the ball ended up on the ground. I think it was Cash Smith able to jump on it for the Broncos, but not before he broke the plane. So it's going to be a touchdown now. It's 41-14 with the extra point coming up.
And that one will do all but ice it here.
So Groves on to kick the extra point. Another line drive kick, and that one is good. Makes it 42-14. Well, we'll just keep it here as we're coming down to the end of this one. But, again, Western Brown, as Rob said, down 42-14 now with only 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go, rather, is pretty much going to ice this one here on senior night at Western Brown. Western Brown got that onside kick, maybe had a chance to kind of claw their way back into it. Had the touchdown called back with the holding, and it just seems like this offense, and I'll give a lot of credit to the Wilmington defense. They've had really good coverage on the back end. Cumberland's been in the backfield multiple times along with other guys. And, their defense has caused some problems for this Western Brown offense. But it just seemed like from the jump, the Western Brown offense just couldn't get in that rhythm. They just didn't seem comfortable. And, again, give credit to Wilmington on the coverage and the pressure that they were able to get.
This is a really talented defensive team, and you heard that in the pregame with all the numbers that they put up, all the tackles for loss, the sacks, the interceptions, the pass breakups, and you're seeing that tonight. Western Brown is a talented offensive team, and Wilmington has all but shut them down so far tonight.
And it looks like Coach Ryan Evans is going to lead his team to the playoffs once again, as they're going to go up to 6-4 on the season to finish it out. Again, I think, as Rob said, they will probably still be on the road in the playoffs, but as there's a kickoff fielded by Carson Parker inside the 15, cutting it back to the middle of the field, and now he's going to be slung down at the 26-yard line where the Western Brown offense will be coming back out here probably for their final possession of the night. But, again, the offense just couldn't get rolling at the beginning. Defense, in the second half there, they were able to get a few stops and kind of shore some things up at halftime, but it was just kind of a little bit too little too late. And looks like Wilmington's going to be able to come away with a big win here on senior night at Western Brown.
Yeah, and they played a great game. Aside for them from penalties, that's probably been their biggest struggle tonight on both sides of the ball. Committed a lot of penalties, so that's going to be something that Coach Evans will really want to clean up as they're heading into the postseason with looks like a definite victory tonight.
Empty set here for Sutton from the 26. 3 on the left, 2 on the right. Sutton takes a snap, looking over the middle, has some pressure again as that is Shute able to get in there, and on cue the other linebacker gets in there and slings him down for a big loss all the way back to the 15. So another 10-yard loss on the sack. Came flying in there, got his hands on him and slung him down. Well, remember 99.5 The Edge is your home for the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen in as Joe Burrow and the boys Sunday afternoon as they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Coverage begins at 11:30 a.m., kickoff at 1 p.m. So Joe Burrow and the Bengals, a couple of wins in a row, able to go to Cleveland last week as Sutton takes a snap, fakes the throw. Now he's going to roll to his left. Now he's going to throw it really deep down the field. Has a chance at Powell, and it goes up high, and a penalty flag flies out as he went up to try to high point the ball and hit the ground really hard, and the penalty flies out. Looks like it's going to be another pass interference on the back end of this Wilmington defense. So that'll help Western Brown out a little bit. They'll talk it over and see what they decide to do, but it looks like it is going to be a penalty against Wilmington. So the pass interference will move them up after the incompletion. But again, Joe Burrow able to do something that he's never done in his career, surprisingly, go to Cleveland and get a win. And the injury to Deshaun Watson and kind of another one of those ugly, kind of gritty football games, but that's what the AFC North is all about. And they've got 2 in a row, and if they can get another one against Philadelphia this week and get back to 500, anything can happen coming down the stretch. They still get the Ravens one more time here soon. So they got the Browns again and they got the Steelers twice. So, after that ugly 1-4 start, they've got a chance to get back in the driver's seat or at least put themselves in the conversation as there's a completion to Powell, and it is going to be a first down for the Broncos. But, again, Bengals playing some decent football, pretty good on the defensive side the last couple of weeks. We'll see what they're able to do against the Eagles at home on Sunday.
Yeah, like you said, a couple of ugly wins, but sometimes you need those, and your offense isn't always going to be on point, but if your defense is playing well, they can really keep you in these ball games. And the Bengals are dangerous. I don't think anyone wants to play against them right now, especially coming down the stretch. I think I was looking at their schedule. They play the Ravens twice before they even played the Steelers once. So that'll be tough. Obviously, want to get that one back against the Ravens. You got to win those division games, and like you said, to get it done against Cleveland in Cleveland.
Yeah, it just seemed like impossible for them to go there and win with Burrow, but they finally got it done. I know the Browns are having kind of a rough go of it after making the playoffs last year as false start penalty backs them up. Sutton's going to throw it deep, trying to get it to Sandifer, and it's tipped and now intercepted. What a play on the back end by number 5, Stewart. He was able to tip it up in the air, then looked like Sandifer was going to have a chance to bring it down for a catch, but Stewart tips it to himself and dives on it for the interception. And another turnover as, again, Western Brown just trying to air it out down late here, but a nice play by Elijah Stewart on the back end. It'll be another interception for the Wilmington defense.
Great interception for the DB there. Again, it looked like Sandifer was in really good position, and he steps in front, high points the ball, able to tip it up, and then comes down with it as he's falling to the turf. That was a great play.
So it'll be 1st and 10. As a reminder, this broadcast is for the private use of the 99.5 The Edge audience. Any other use of the descriptions or accounts of this game without the consent of 99.5 The Edge is prohibited. So Ohio State back in action this weekend against Nebraska. University of Cincinnati's got a big one against Colorado. So some good Ohio football going on this weekend, and then the Bengals back at home against the Eagles. So in those Ohio University Bobcats right here on 99.5 The Edge tomorrow. So all kinds of football. This is my favorite time of year. The World Series starts tonight. You got college football. You got the NFL, high school football playoffs. It's definitely, if you're a sports person, definitely in my opinion, the best time of year. NBA's just started up. College basketball is right around the corner. So it's pretty cool time of the year to have kind of almost all the sports going at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm into some other sports there that I'm not going to mention either on the broadcast, but it's a great time of year. I mean, obviously soccer going on, Premier League stuff, and Champions League and all that too. So
a little bit of everything going on this time of year in the sports world. There's a handoff going off the jet sweep out to the right, and the Broncos were able to run it down, rally to the ball, and bring him down. 2 minutes and 22 seconds ago. And I think I saw College Game Day is going to be at Indiana this weekend, as I saw the Indiana is ranked higher than Alabama right now. So Indiana is what are they, 7-0, 6-0?
Yeah, they're undefeated right now. Is it Signetti? Is that the
I
coach
think so.
There? Another apprentice of that Nick Saban tree. They're the coaches that came under him are rolling right now. It's pretty impressive.
So under 2 minutes to go now, minute 50 to go in the ball game, as Wilmington will have a 3rd down and 9. But again, just trying to possess the ball. Looks like they're going to let this one roll down all the way on the play clock, take a timeout, and then probably run one more. Maybe just go for it on 4th down, or just pooch it down there. Again, it is senior night here at Western Brown, so I want to give these seniors one final shout out here before the end of this one. Lucas Powell, Brady Sutton, Landon Lambert, Lamar Hall, Jaden Parker, Alex Weber, Denver Ballou, Camden Cunningham, Traven Jacobs, Austin Sandifer, Adam Pena, Marcus Williams, Isaiah Snow Jr., Brian Smith Jr., and Damian Valdez. And looks like this is going to bring the season to an end for Western Brown here, as, again, kind of one of those had-to-win to get in situations. And with a little time and Wilmington having the football, it's not going to happen for them here tonight. But, again, we talked with Coach Osborne, and the SBC is, from the top down, Batavia's really good right now. Obviously, Clinton Massey, they're good every year. And this Wilmington team has been really good the last couple of years. Don't have as good a record as they had last year, but play a tough schedule and a tough non-conference schedule. And Western Brown just battled through a lot of injuries and some adversity, and just wasn't, after that early start, 3-0, just really wasn't able to keep that momentum, and then had the injuries, and just some things didn't go their way. But I know Coach Osborne is proud of these seniors and the fight that they've had, as there's one tipped up in the air by Cash Smith, and Sandifer tried to dive and intercept it, but wasn't able to do it. It's going to be 4th down and 9 here with a minute 47 to go. But again, I got to give the seniors a shout out. They've been a lot to this program. It's been a lot of fun watching Brady Sutton over the last couple of years, and maybe the records weren't where they wanted it to be. Lucas Powell has had a great career here at Western Brown, and these guys, big shoes to fill with Brady Sutton coming off of Drew Novak. I mean, I think the 3rd all-time passer in state of Ohio history. It's not bad, I guess, but big shoes for him to fill, and this will bring it into the Brady Sutton era here at Western Brown, as he's a senior. We got a lot of excitement with some of these young guys coming up, and then the junior high program was really, really good. I think the JV team only lost a game, or maybe went undefeated. I'm not exactly sure, but a bright future here for Western Brown. But again, we want to focus on the seniors on this last minute 35 as they're going to play their final game here at Western Brown.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of talent with this senior group, and they've been through a lot. This is, I think, Coach Osborne's first full group, or maybe second full group that he's had in his era as the head coach here, as Wilmington punts it and Powell returns it for a few yards.
So the Western Brown offense will come back out one more time here. Again, probably, I would assume, definitely going to be their final possession here. And going to have, looks like, all the seniors, as many as they can get out there on this final drive here. But again, Coach Osborne talked about this group, how gritty they were, and not a lot of guys that maybe stand out as far as putting up gaudy numbers like we've seen some do in the past. But when you think of a guy like Lucas Powell or a guy like Brady Sutton, just durable, hard-nosed kids who were put in some tough situations with some injuries and different things, and they've had good career. And Powell's been playing since he was a sophomore. Maybe even got a little bit of time as a freshman out there on the varsity games. And Sutton played receiver before he moved over to quarterback. We saw him do that here again this year. And along with all those other guys, Denver Blues had a great couple of seasons. Austin Sandifer, as he catches one there around midfield, has really come on late in the season here and kind of played both ways. And you could go on and on about these guys. Jaden Parker has done some electric things here. And again, it's been a good group to watch. And maybe didn't have the record success and the playoff success that they wanted. It's hard to replicate after those years that they had with Drew Novak and his brother Dylan and some of those guys. But a good group, and it's going to be tough for them here as they play out their last final minute here at La Rosa's Field. But again, got to give the seniors a big shout out as we always do on senior night.
Yeah, like you said, there was huge shoes to fill, and the groups before them, I think in Drew Novak's class, they had over 20 seniors in that group. So, and most of them started. I think they had like 19 starters from that group. So that was a lot to fill from last season. And then coming into this season, they still got a lot of youth on the offensive line up front and on that defensive front too with some of the guys that rotate in there. Western Brown picks up a first down.
And again, I think some of these guys are going to get a chance to go play at the next level. It depends on, maybe where or when or how. But, we've seen a lot of guys, Gary Powell, Lucas's older brother, is down there on the sideline. He's had a great career at Mount St. Joe. And, a lot of these other guys, Matt Fry playing baseball at Mount St. Joe. And Drew and Dylan Novak are still playing in college. And, it's just been cool to see. And I'm sure Brady and Lucas and some of these guys are going to get a chance to go play somewhere. And, it's bittersweet that it ends here on senior night, but, they have a lot to be proud of and a lot of things that they've accomplished. And, again, Coach Osborne was just listening to him talk about him, you could tell how proud he was of the adversity that they've faced and how they've kind of, met it head on. And it's not an easy thing to do when you got injuries and things that mount up against you, and you're playing a tough schedule. You're playing Clinton Massey and New Richmond came in here, and they got some young guys too, but played a good football game. It's just a lot to ask, but again, want to congratulate the seniors on everything. And there's 30 seconds to go. Here's another incompletion, but I don't want to jump the gun on next year, but you got a lot of key pieces coming back as well. Harmon and Spalding and Saylor and some of these guys, and this Bronco football team, they've got a bright future. And you knew there was going to be a little bit of an adjustment period after those great years that they had and the deep playoff runs. But the future is bright for Western Brown.
It is, and you see it all the way down in the youth level too. And Coach Osborne has referenced this to us. Obviously, the middle school program doing really well. The freshman group has a lot of talent, and they're learning a lot too from these groups that have come before them. And you see it. He talked about them this week. Gritty and grindy were the words that he used to describe this senior class. And you see it week in and week out, whether they're winning or losing. These guys fight till the last play of the game, and they're under 30 seconds now. They're still playing like it's a one-score ball game.
Sutton rolls out to his left, and he's going to avoid a couple of tacklers, throws it towards the end zone, and Zayden Nichols is going to come down with a touchdown with 3 seconds to go. So why not one more touchdown pass from Brady Sutton and his cap off his career here at Western Brown. Another good throw on the run. And that's the thing that Sutton does so well. He's got that pressure in his face, and he's elusive. Not a real big guy, but strong lower half, and he's able to get out of some tackles, and that time able to create and throws one final touchdown in his career here to Zayden Nichols. And Cunningham will be on to kick what I would assume would be his final kick here for Western Brown. And I got to give a big shout out to Camden Cunningham. He has done an excellent job these past couple of years. He came over as a sophomore, a good soccer player here at Western Brown, and didn't play a lot of football, I don't think, in junior high or anything, but was able to come over. And Cunningham has been automatic this year, and with that make right there, that will keep him perfect on the season. I think what will he be now? 41 or 42? 42, I think, on the season. So Cunningham's done a great job on the extra points and has had to do some kickoff duties on the kickoff coverage team, and so a lot of great things. The senior cheerleaders down there have done a great job. The senior band members, we saw them kind of do a little bit of a tribute to them. They all got to play right there in the front together, the seniors at the halftime show, and they may put on a little post-game show here as well. But again, a bittersweet feeling. Also want to give a big shout out to Mr. Don Bowles for letting us do this again. We've had a fun season. Didn't turn out the way we necessarily wanted it to for Western Brown, but we really appreciate the opportunity and everybody who's listening to us all season long. It's I get people all the time that send me a text and say, "Oh, I'm driving here and we're listening to you. You sound great," or whatever. Or we're not gonna be able to make it this Friday. We'll tune in on the radio. So we really appreciate everybody listening in. Rob's dad was listening from Greece at one point, a couple weeks in a row. I would assume that's probably the farthest away listener that we've had this season. But we want to give everyone who supports us and Brandon and Traven and Sarah and everybody who's helped us out this season. We want to give them a big thank you, as well as Bolinder will kick another one and Wilmington will just fall on it, and that will bring us to the end. Triple zeros here on the scoreboard, so the final 42-21. But again, as I was saying, thanks to everybody behind the scenes and Tim Cook here at Western Brown, who is always sending me rosters and making sure that we're up to date on information as well. Thanks to Coach Osborne for all the interviews and everything, and he spends a lot of time with us over the season. We've become pretty good friends with Coach Osborne. We kind of joke around and poke fun at each other and send funny text messages and everything. So we've become really close with Coach Osborne over the past couple of seasons. But again, thanks to everybody who helps us out with everything behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's been a great season and a lot of fun. You shouted out Don at the station and just getting this opportunity to call football. I mean, this sport I'm most passionate about, and getting back involved in it. Not the everyday grind like coaching and all the investment that they put into it, and these players and kids and I mean, it's a big time commitment in any sport that you play. I mean, you've got practice every day, you've got a game at least once a week, and for some of these sports, some of them are 2-3 days a week for that. You got film study, then you got your actual studies in the classroom and homework and all that stuff to keep up with, and it's a lot to be a student athlete. We know that firsthand, and these kids, I know they're emotional getting this last game on their home field and not getting the result that they wanted on senior night, but even still, soak up that last moment.
And again, want to give a congratulations to Wilmington. They get the win here. They'll move to 6-4. Want to wish them the best of luck in the postseason. They'll move on with Batavia and Clinton Massey from that American division to represent the SBC, and some teams from the national side as well. I'm sure Williamsburg and Bethel will be moving on, I'm sure, in the postseason, and a couple others around the area. It's been a great season for football here as Coach Osborne's addressing the team down there for the final time this season, as again what we think will be the final time, with unless with some kind of things happen in the postseason standings. But again, it was a hard fought season for Western Brown. They end up 4-6 on the season, and fought through a lot of adversity. Started 3-0, had a couple of big non-conference wins, and then just kind of ran into some tough teams. Played a good Jackson team, played a good Miami Trace team, and the injuries kind of started to build on them. And then we're able to turn it around and get a win last week against Goshen. But Wilmington just a little bit too much for them to handle here tonight. And the final score on this one is 42-21. Wilmington wins. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with our postgame show right after this on 99.5 The Edge.
I wanted to prove to myself that I could go to college and get my degree.
What if I went to Southern State? What if I'm able to go and become that nurse or that lawyer or that teacher? Southern State Community College allows students to rise above the circumstances that they're surrounded by and become something more than they ever dreamed possible.
Again, welcome back in here to Western Brown. Final score, Wilmington comes away with the win 42-21. That late touchdown there from Brady Sutton to Zayden Nichols made it a 42-21 final. And again, Western Brown falls here on senior night. They fall to 4-6 to finish the season. And don't think that's going to be quite enough to get them into the postseason. So I think Coach Osborne said that was four years in a row they had made the postseason. So that streak is going to come to an end, unfortunately, it looks like, here for Western Brown. Wilmington will be moving on and will move up possibly in the standings there in that Region 12. So they'll have to wait. I think tomorrow's when the final, all the updated scoring and everything will be done, get all those scores put in here tonight. And we'll see where they're going on to. Obviously, Clinton Massey will be moving on to the postseason. Batavia, I think, was winning pretty big over Goshen earlier, so they're going to be moving into this Region 12 playoff as well. But again, Western Brown, final on the season, 42-21. They fall to 4-6. And, we can say, all the things we want to say about it, but just the season just, kind of didn't go the way they wanted it to go. But, Coach Osborne talked about how proud he was of those guys and then the seniors. And, I know this is a tough night for coaches as well. You coach these kids and you like you said, we've become pretty clear. Like I said, we've become close with Coach Osborne. He's with these guys every single day for hours a day and in the off season in the weight room. And, he had his brother on the team up until last year, so close with all those kids. And, it means a lot to him to have this job. And he's talked about that being a Western Brown alum and how much it means to him. So tough night for Coach Osborne as well. But, again, want to give a shout-out to those seniors here at Western Brown.
Yeah, definitely. The gritty and grindy, that's kind of stuck with me throughout the week when he said that in his in the pregame huddle, and it really does speak to this group. Like I said, they have no quit in them, and you can see that on the football field. A lot of those guys play both sides of the football, and they get after it, and they work so hard in the off season. Translates into the play on the field on Friday nights and obviously throughout the season and practice and everything. And you never want to go down like that at the end. But, sometimes that's the way the chips fall, and you learn from it. You move on. Some of these kids will be playing at the next level, and if not, they'll take this and learn from it and use this in their next phase of life, whatever that may be. But it's been a fun group to follow. Like you said, a lot of big shoes to fill with that group prior, but they did a great job, and we talked about the success that Drew Novak had and all the records he broke, but Brady Sutton came in here and he put his own stamp on this program and did a lot of great things at the quarterback position, and he had some great skill guys with him too. We talked about Lucas Powell, what a good player he has, started for 3 years, and just a solid receiver. Finally got his first touchdown last week against Goshen, the elusive one, and leads the team in receiving yards. Austin Sandifer coming over from the defensive side, started playing offense last year. I think it was middle of the year they switched him over, and he's been a great receiver for him as well. And just what a fun group to follow the last couple seasons.
And Coach Osborne taking some time down there, giving each one of those seniors a big hug, and spending a little bit of time with them here. A tough night for them. They fall 42-21 to Wilmington rather. We'll take another break, and we'll be back with our Paul Insurance Player of the Game right after this.
To get to know people as people, not just customers. That's very important to Mosier Furniture. Today, we were lucky enough to have 2 customers call us and brag about the fact that they loved their furniture and they're still loving it after a great number of years. We like to hear that. There's no doubt Mosier Furniture and Appliance has a lot of great customers, but we're always looking for more. Mosier Furniture and Appliance in West Union, Ohio. We're here whenever you need us.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Ohio. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the OHSAA.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Our beliefs matter. They're reflected in our words and actions. At First State Bank, we believe in treating people well and have since 1884. Listening, caring, looking out for each other. It's what people deserve. It's what a real local bank does. While lots of things have changed over the years, our belief in you hasn't. First State Bank, built on belief.
Here to Western Brown, we're going to name our Paul Hall Insurance, we'll call it Players of the Game, as again, Coach Osborne taking some time down there with the seniors and a lot of emotion down there, a lot of hugs, I'm sure some tears for some of these guys. That realization starts to set in that you just played your final high school football game. I remember that. Didn't play football, but I definitely remember that feeling after basketball. I kept, thinking, I'll be fine no matter what happens. And then, we go to the tournament and we lost to Coleraine and got in that locker room. And as soon as my coach said how, I'm proud of you, it instantly happened. So, feel for those guys and understand that they've put their heart and soul into this sport for the last, 15, 16 years, some of them 14, 15 years. And, it's just a lot to go through and fight through and played their final game. So we're going to name all of the seniors as our Paul Hall Insurance Players of the Game, we'll call it. So I'll read their names one more time. Lucas Powell, Brady Sutton, Landon Lambert, Lamar Hall, Jaden Parker, Alex Weber, Denver Ballou, Camden Cunningham, Traven Jacobs, Austin Sandifer, Adam Pena, Marcus Williams, Isaiah Snow Jr., Brian Smith Jr., and Damian Valdez. So, again, congratulations to that senior class. And, again, tough night for them. They didn't get the win. Don't go out the way they want to, but nothing to hang their head about. They've had a great career, and, it's been fun watching them over the past couple of years. And so congratulations to that senior class.
Yeah, and those offensive linemen up there doing a great job the last few seasons. Brian Smith Jr., Damian Valdez. We saw Alex Weber get thrown in last week at tailback and had a great night against the Goshen Warriors. Again, 3 touchdowns. I think he went for 117 on the ground. Torched them last week, and what a renaissance player he's been, kind of all over the field, special teams, defense, getting the ball on offense as well. And Brady Sutton, you see these guys kind of hanging around midfield now right on the Bronco logo and just kind of soaking in these last few seconds while they can.
So, again, final score here, 42-21. Wilmington wins. And I'll hand it back over to Rob one final time. He's got some stats tallied up for you, and then we'll wrap it up here at Western Brown.
Starting with Wilmington on the offensive end, 13 first downs. They were 3 of 8 on third down conversions, but 2 of 3 on fourth down. They only had 1 turnover. That was a turnover on downs on their second possession on offense. Did have 5 penalties for 32 total yards. Defensively for the Broncos, 3 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups, and then 2 penalties for 16 total yards. On to offense for Western Brown, 14 first downs. They were only 4 of 13 on third down conversions, 3 of 5 on fourth down. But they did have 6 turnovers, 4 of those coming by interception, the other 2 on downs. 5 penalties for 35 yards. Defensively for Wilmington, 2 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 4 interceptions. One thing Coach Evans definitely going to want to clean up, though, defensively, 10 penalties, 115 yards.
So, again, the final here, 42-21, as the seniors are posing for a few pictures there right in the middle of the field on that Bronco logo. Again, one final time out there on the turf. And I can't say enough about that senior group and what they've meant to the program. And congratulations to all of them. We, again, named them all our Paul Hall Insurance Player of the Game. Well, Rob, it was a fun football season. Obviously, we're not going to be going and don't think we're going to be going and doing any postseason games this year as we went up to Tip City last year. But it was fun calling another season with you, and hopefully we're able to do this again in the future. They're gonna have basketball coming up here soon. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing much basketball this year. I took over some responsibilities at Hamersville that are going to take up a lot of my time. So don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of basketball this year. But again, we want to thank Don and Ken and everybody for the opportunity. It was another fun season, and we got plenty more Bengals and Buckeyes football to watch this season. But another fun season on the mic.
A lot of fun, and look forward to doing it again in the future. And like you said, I think they got those the basketball kind of pre-release information for each of the schools that station will be covering this year, so check those out.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the Western Round 1 today. They had some of the league reps. Tim Cook was on there the other day, along with some of the people from the Shack and everything. So pretty cool stuff going on over there. And there, before you know it, there's going to be a basketball game about 8 days a week across the area here. So good luck to all the SBC teams and all the teams around the area that will be moving on to the playoffs. And hopefully they represent the Southern Buckeye well in all their other conferences. I think I'm going to be traveling out to Pike County next weekend to watch my brother-in-law's play for Eastern Pike. They finished the season 10-0. I think they're going to be the number 1 seed in their region in Division 7, so it'll be fun to go out there and watch them play. But, again, congratulations, Coach Osborne. I want to thank him for all of his time and making sure I hit everybody here before we sign it off. But I think that's going to just about do it here at Western Brown. We want to thank Traven Jacobs. That's what I've been saying all night on the seniors. Traven Hildebrand, rather, back in the studio for us. Brandon Rigdon in here in the press box with us tonight on the camera. I'm Greg Liming with Rob Bowman. Thanks for tuning in all season long. We appreciate all the listeners, and we'll catch you next year right here at Western Brown for some football action on 99.5 The Edge. Take care.